section, the way it came about is I was stalking Reed Morano, our director, and I was actually trying to get her to do another film of mine, and they told me that she was entirely unavailable, that it's not worth it. I called her agents and I said, please just like take a meeting with me, and they said, okay, she can meet tonight at 10:30 p.m. And they knew I lived 2 hours away from where it was, so they would just give me like an impossible sort of goal, and I was like, okay, I'll be there. And they said, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I'll be there. So I met her at this like random restaurant outside of her house at 10:30 at night one night, and I begged her to do my movie. And she was she was meant to do another movie instead, and we instead spent the entire night talking about this script that she was obsessed with called The Rhythm Section. She wasn't hired as the director. I had never even heard of it. And we both left the meeting wanting to make The Rhythm Section instead. But the problem was we weren't hired. Barbara Broccoli had no idea who either one of us were. And so then I became obsessed with finding this script, and I tracked it down. And she didn't tell me the name of the script. She didn't tell me it was called The Rhythm Section. She just described the story. She described the character. She said it was the producers of Bond. And I knew that that meant Barbara Broccoli, who I just heard the best things about my entire career. Everybody said not only does she make such incredible movies, but she's such a great person, and she has such incredible taste, and she's just so kind and humble and just like the best of the best. So I'd always wanted to work with Barbara for that reason. So I read the script and loved it, obviously. And then I begged Barbara to meet me, and I called Reed and I was like, listen, I know you're doing another movie and I'm supposed to be doing another movie. Let's be honest, neither one of us want to be in those relationships. So let's do this movie instead. If Barbara's willing to hire us both, would you want to go in together and say like, look at this, you got both of us? And she was like, yes, I would love to make this movie with you. So she met Barbara that weekend, I met Barbara that weekend, and we just sort of like, you know, begged her to hire us both as a you know, she didn't have anybody attached to the movie, and now she would have two, like lucky her. And she fell for it, which is incredible. And so that's sort of how it came to be. The way she described the film is it's a film about a female assassin, yet you never, in movies when you see female assassins, or any assassin, they're always slick, you know that they're gonna succeed. There's something very like sexualized, and violence has a lot of like glamour and cool to it, where this film, violence is violence. Like when they're always taking human lives in films without any sort of regard for it. And this is a movie where you see that every human being, no matter how good or bad they are, like everybody is fighting for what they believe is right or what they believe is noble. And it's not so black and white. And when you take a human life, there is that's the human being. I mean, there is real consequence, there is real pain, there is real conflict, even if that's your goal to do that. It's never just this easy thing that you walk away from. And becoming an assassin is really bleeping hard. I've never seen a film that had such humanity in this genre, so that's the reason that I really wanted to be a part of it, on top of the fact that, you know, Reed is such a brilliant filmmaker I was such a fan of, and Barbara as well. That's why this movie means so much to me, is like, whether it be the bus fight and like all of the choreography and training that I had to do for that. Like I had to get so strong and in such good shape to do that after having 2 kids. Like I had to become, you know, quite muscular and strong just in order to achieve what I had to achieve on the bus fight. And the kitchen fight, the same sort of thing. You don't normally see that in movies, you know, you don't, and I think that this movie has such a realness and such a rawness to it, because like I was actually doing all of these things. And yes, I had an incredible team of stunt performers and fight choreographers and all of these other people, but they would do these things as well. But like, you know, a lot of the stuff in this movie is one take, and it's me having to do it, and like that required such strength, inner and outer, and emotional, and perseverance. And like all of us gave everything we had to this movie, like our hearts, our souls, our time, our right hand, and the whole crew was that way. Everybody was that dedicated, and you know, I think that that's You really see that from, you know, the set deck to the costume designing to the cinematography to the stunts to the fight choreography. Everything is just so authentic and full of such empathy and humanity, and I think that that's really special to see in the genre, because the movie is still beautiful and slick in its beauty, but in the storytelling, it's so authentic, and it's so unlike any movie that I've ever seen in the genre, whether it's a male or female lead. It's just you don't normally see this story told with such humanity and excitement.